My name is Christine Aria. I am a 21-year-old. I was really hoping that I'd make it here tonight, but unfortunately I can't because I'm very unwell. So I'm going to read you and tell you about my story from this lovely hospital bed. It was the 5th of May 2010. My whole world turned upside down, and the worst nightmare of a 17-year-old girl came true. It was an ordinary afternoon when my mum picked me up from school during HSC, and I went in for my first consultation after having an ultrasound and x-ray the week before. I was diagnosed with a stage 4 metastatic alveoli rhabdomyosarcoma that started off in my right thigh, a rare cancer with 1 in 10,000 diagnosis. Almost immediately my entire life changed. My study schedule was replaced by my chemo schedule. I felt like I was living 2 lives, my hospital life and my old life, my normal life, which I was trying to hold on to with my family and my friends. I underwent 17 months of intense chemotherapy and was in hospital almost every day. I had radiation as well as a massive operation to remove the tumor from my primary site. I had my first set of review scans in November 2011 later that year, and all I wished for my 19th birthday was to get the all clear and be in remission. And indeed my prayers were answered. I remember at the time I felt a huge sense of relief, and it was one of the most happiest days of my life. I felt like I was restarting my life again. I can't explain the feeling of being given a second chance after thinking you weren't, and thank God for that. I enrolled at TAFE for a diploma in fashion design and technology, and I showcased my first work at the fashion show last year. I even got a job while I was in remission and went overseas with my family for our first break after everything. And when I returned and came back end of January, I started feeling chest pain and heavy breathing in my lungs. I thought it could be due to post-side radio effects, but the scans and a biopsy revealed that I relapsed with the same disease, but in my bronchus and my lungs. I was shocked, angry, and confused. My worst nightmare of this disease coming back occurred, and I couldn't understand and fathom it, why this was happening again to me. 2013 was supposed to be the best year for me, achieving all the goals that I thought I couldn't, completing my diploma in fashion design, having a 21st birthday party, and going overseas to Europe with my friends and my family. All this was replaced by the memory of the struggle and the pain. Despite my doctor's parents, and especially my sister Anastasia, begging me to go back into treatment, I just couldn't pick up myself and have the strength to walk back into the doors to do radio and chemo. So I chose to defer my treatment for 2 months. Unfortunately, during those weeks things got worse, and the tumor did continue to grow, and I struggled with breathing and sleeping at night as it was pressing against my chest. So I soon realized that the only way to survive was to get this treatment done. And so I had to face the journey, and I finished my 3rd time of doing treatment again in March this year. The doctors told me it wasn't successful, so I went in back again for 3 weeks of radio, and I just finished my last dose about 3 weeks ago, and hoping that it worked. You may wonder how I got through the past 3.5 years, and I can't tell you, it's having a strong support network and having strong friends and prayers. I couldn't be more grateful for having my sister, my mum, my dad, my family, my students at school, my church community, my doctors and nurses, and friends who I've made along the way to help me get through this. My sister Anastasia is like my best friend. We do everything together, and she knows more than most that I'm a pretty stubborn patient. So most of the decisions that I make sure I think of her, and she's the one who can only convince me to go back in for treatment. I don't know what I'd really do without her. Having the support of my sister, someone also my age, was even more important because I couldn't get treatment in the children's hospital as I was turning 18 throughout treatment, and the cutoff was 17. I hated my first experience of being treated in an adult hospital, an adult ward, where people were dying. The walls were so gloomy and dull. It was such a depressing place, despite my friends coming to visit me. This is why I cannot wait for the new cancer center to be built. It's definitely going to make the next experience for myself and for other young adolescent cancer patients too much more bearable. I hope my story has opened your eyes to see that life is too short not to be lived, and to always support each other in times of struggle, because you never know when you're going to be the one who needs support. Thank you.